When the Supreme Court speaks with one voice, its decisions echo far beyond the marble halls of justice. The impact of a unanimous ruling is felt not just in legal circles, but across the entire nation. Its message is especially powerful, carrying a weight that commands attention and respect from lawmakers, lower courts, and the public alike. A unanimous 9-0 ruling means every justice agrees, regardless of ideology, background, or who appointed them. It's a rare moment when the court's diverse perspectives converge on a single clear answer. This unity signals that the legal principle at stake is fundamental, rising above politics and personal beliefs. It shows that some issues are so essential, they transcend the usual divides. Such decisions are more stable, less likely to be challenged, and have real-world impact on Americans' rights. They set a precedent that endures, shaping the law for generations to come. Recently, the court issued several unanimous decisions on core freedoms like free speech and religious liberty. These rulings show that, even in contentious times, the justices can find common ground on the most vital questions. Even in divided times, these cases show foundational principles unite the court. When justices from all backgrounds agree, it sends a message that some values are truly universal. Understanding these rulings reveals the true state of our rights and government limits. It helps us see where the boundaries are drawn and how our freedoms are protected. We'll examine two landmark cases, NRA vs. Vullo about government pressure on private companies and free speech, and Catholic Charities vs. Wisconsin about religious liberty. Both cases highlight how the court safeguards our most cherished rights. By exploring these, we see how the court defines and defends essential freedoms, ensuring that the Constitution's promises remain alive and meaningful in our daily lives. A unanimous decision cuts through the noise, delivering a definitive statement on the law. It leaves little room for doubt or misinterpretation, providing clarity for everyone. These rulings reinforce that the Constitution provides a solid bedrock of rights. They remind us that our freedoms are not just ideals, but living principles that guide our society. They remind us that some freedoms are so central, they command universal agreement. When the court stands together, it affirms the enduring strength of our democracy. This unity strengthens public trust and clarifies the rules for all. It reassures Americans that, at the highest level, justice can still be a shared vision, one that protects us all, no matter our differences. The Supreme Court's unanimous ruling in National Rifle Association vs. Vullo was a landmark decision focused on the fundamental right to free speech in America. This case drew national attention as it addressed the boundaries of government power and the protection of constitutional rights. The NRA, a prominent gun rights advocacy group, accused New York financial regulator Maria Vullo of using her official position to pressure banks and insurance companies into cutting ties with the organization. The NRA claimed this was not simply a matter of policy, but a targeted campaign against them because of their pro-gun stance. The central question before the court was this: can a government official wield regulatory power to punish or suppress speech they personally disagree with? This issue goes to the heart of the First Amendment and the limits of government authority. The NRA argued that Vullo's actions went far beyond mere persuasion. They contended that her communications with financial institutions amounted to implied threats designed to intimidate and silence the group's advocacy efforts. The Supreme Court agreed with the NRA's position. In a strong and clear opinion, the justices found that government officials cannot use their regulatory authority to coerce or pressure private entities into suppressing speech, even if that speech is controversial or unpopular. The ruling draws a bright and unmistakable line. While expressing an opinion is protected, using the power of government to punish or chill speech crosses a constitutional boundary. This decision sets a powerful precedent against government overreach, reinforcing the idea that the free exchange of ideas must be protected from official interference or intimidation. It ensures that even viewpoints that spark controversy or disagreement are shielded from retaliation by those in power. The ruling affirms that robust debate and advocacy are essential to a healthy democracy. The First Amendment not only protects direct speech, but also guards against indirect efforts to chill or suppress it through backdoor tactics or subtle forms of coercion. The government cannot accomplish through unofficial pressure or veiled threats what it is explicitly forbidden to do by law. This principle is vital to maintaining the integrity of constitutional protections. By upholding these protections, the court's ruling preserves a level playing field for all voices, regardless of their popularity or political stance. Advocacy groups and organizations can now continue to speak out and champion their causes without the looming threat of regulatory intimidation, knowing that the Constitution stands firmly on their side. The NRA versus Vullo decision has major implications for free speech and the media. It reinforces that government can't silence voices by pressuring private companies. This is crucial as some officials have threatened media outlets for critical coverage. Now, broadcasters and journalists have a strong legal shield against such threats. The ruling protects media independence, allowing them to inform the public without fear. It sets a clear boundary. Officials must not target media for their reporting or opinions. This strengthens the First Amendment for everyone, from large corporations to independent journalists. The government cannot use regulatory power to suppress disfavored speech. The Supreme Court standard keeps the marketplace of ideas open and vibrant. In another unanimous decision, the Supreme Court sided with Catholic Charities Bureau in Wisconsin, marking a significant moment in the ongoing debate over the intersection of faith and government regulation. The central question in this case was whether the faith-based group, which provides a wide range of social services, was required to pay state unemployment taxes like other employers. Wisconsin's argument was that the charity's work, such as job training, food distribution, and housing assistance, was largely secular in nature, and therefore, the organization should be taxed just like any other non-religious employer operating in the state. Catholic Charities countered by emphasizing that its services are deeply rooted in its religious mission, and that every act of charity is an expression of faith, making it impossible to separate the religious from the charitable. The organization argued that forcing it to pay taxes when churches themselves are exempt would violate its religious freedom and undermine its ability to serve the community in accordance with its beliefs. The Supreme Court agreed with Catholic Charities, ruling that the charity's work was motivated by religious principles and therefore deserved the same exemption as churches. This decision was hailed as a major victory for religious rights advocates, who saw it as a reaffirmation of the special protections granted to faith-based organizations under the Constitution. The ruling affirms that religious organizations have the right to define the nature and purpose of their own work, without undue interference from the state. It also limits the state's ability to second-guess or challenge activities that are genuinely rooted in faith, setting an important precedent for future cases. The court's decision sends a clear signal that government agencies should defer to a religious group's own understanding of its mission and practices, rather than imposing secular definitions. By ruling unanimously, the court protected the autonomy of faith-based organizations, ensuring they can operate according to their convictions. Religious groups across the country can now carry out their work according to their beliefs, confident that their religious identity will be respected and upheld by the law. The Catholic Charities case highlights the balance between religious freedom and state regulation. Religious groups argue the First Amendment lets them operate according to their beliefs, qualifying for exemptions from general laws. States want to apply laws evenly to all organizations for fairness. The Supreme Court's ruling tilted the scale toward religious freedom, cautioning government against defining religious activity. When work is sincerely driven by faith, the state has less authority to impose burdensome regulations. The decision continues a trend of strong protection for religious plaintiffs. It doesn't free religious groups from all regulation, but raises the bar for government justification. The court reinforces that religious freedom is a fundamental right needing strong protection. The Catholic Charities ruling will impact religious organizations nationwide. Faith-based hospitals, universities, and agencies may now seek similar exemptions from state laws. This could spark new legal challenges between religious groups and states. The decision is part of a broader trend of the court strengthening religious liberty. Still, not all religious claims will succeed. Courts will examine each case's facts. The ruling shapes the ongoing debate about religion's role in public life and fairness. It doesn't grant blanket exemptions, but creates a stronger legal framework for religious autonomy. The government must now respect the religious character of organizations' work. The NRA and Catholic Charities cases share a powerful theme limiting government power. In both, the Supreme Court unanimously found officials had overstepped their authority. The NRA case reined in regulatory pressure on speech. Catholic Charities protected religious autonomy. All 9 justices, despite differences, agreed on protecting core constitutional rights. This cross-ideological consensus signals that free speech and religious freedom are not partisan issues. Unanimous rulings bring stability and clarity to the law. They send a clear message to lower courts and officials about the boundaries of government authority. The Bill of Rights was designed to protect citizens from government overreach. These decisions show the court's dedication to that purpose. By pushing back against overreach, the court ensures government remains a servant, not a master. A 9-0 Supreme Court ruling does more than decide a case. It strengthens the rule of law. Unanimity projects unity and objectivity, building public confidence in the judiciary. In polarized times, it shows the law transcends politics. Unanimous decisions create stronger, more durable precedents, legal anchors unlikely to be reversed. This provides stability and predictability for citizens and businesses. Lower courts must follow these clear, unambiguous instructions. The law is applied more consistently nationwide, promoting equality. Unanimity also warns lawmakers and officials that certain actions are off limits. In the NRA and Catholic Charities cases, the court signaled that coercion and interference with religious identity won't be tolerated. Such decisions deter future government overreach. Unanimous rulings are a vital check on legislative and executive power. The Supreme Court's unanimous decisions in the NRA and Catholic Charities cases are crucial for every American. These rulings show the court can find common ground on fundamental rights, even in divided times. By speaking with one voice, the justices reinforce limits on government authority. The NRA case defends against government coercion and protects open debate. Catholic Charities affirms religious groups' right to operate according to their faith. These decisions offer clear guidance for future disputes and uphold checks and balances. For every citizen, they mean strong protection for free speech and religious practice. The clarity and strength of these rulings cut through division to affirm core American principles. The Constitution protects everyone, regardless of beliefs. These 9-0 rulings stand as pillars of stability and liberty for all.